guys, Meredith Foreman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
UFC 299 from Miami, Florida. We have a stacked card ahead of us. Next pay-per-views are incredibly stacked. Can't wait for this weekend. We got a headline by O'Malley versus Vera in the rematch. We'll talk about that one, of course, in the full main card. Poirier versus St Denis, 5-round special main event. Both guys bring the fight, right? That should be a fun one to watch. Paige making his debut versus Kevin Holland. Another fun, exciting matchup there with two karate styles. Hopefully that fight stays on the feet. We got Jack Malina against Gilbert Burns. Toughest test yet for Jack. And then Song Yadong versus Yan. Wow, what a card, right? Can't wait to break all these down for you. SystemSportsCapping.com is my website, or link.me/systemcapping for everything system capping. Client opportunities. Client card will be out on Friday after weigh-ins. Free plays, client comments, resume, records, and more. Follow me on social media, guys. Active over there. Sports betting news in general, free plays, system capping. Very simple, easy on all major platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and even TikTok. Let's do a UFC 87 recap. Let's do a quick recap here. It wasn't a great card from a betting standpoint, but we were able to go 3 for 3 on 3 favorites I like. There was a card where they priced the favorites high, so you kind of had to adjust. Outcomes were tough. I did not hit on any outcomes I took a chance on for smaller units. But we did go 3 for 3 on a 3-fight parlay at plus money. I rarely do 3-fight parlays, but if I really like 3 favorites to win, I can get plus money. I'll take a look. I'll take a look at it. We were able to get plus 110 on Makayev, Petrino, and Usyk. All winning their fights fairly easy. I think, obviously, the Makayev fight was somewhat close. I expected to be kind of close. Petrino and Usyk won fairly easily. Did miss out on a few outcomes, like I mentioned, for smaller units, but a profitable card for myself and clients. Let's get in some current runs. I update this every week, guys. Current runs. Obviously, we ended the year NFL 14-5. 5-0 UFC 298 card. Last pay-per-view event. Trying to get on another pay-per-view run here. 3-1 NHL. It's very low volume. Maybe 1 or 2 bets a week. And 25-8 free golf bets documented on video, guys. Over the last year and 3 months. We did miss one last week. Let's get right into this card, guys. Let's get right into it. We got a great card to talk about here, so let's get into it. O'Malley, minus 275 versus Vera, plus 140. Can O'Malley be the first person to stop or even knock down Vera? That's a big question. He has the tools to do so. But Vera has shown his durability is through the roof. 14 years of fighting MMA, which is 32 fights for Vera. He's never been knocked down or finished. That's impressive. Round of applause there. You got to give that. You don't see that too often, right? He can actually tie the record for most fights without a loss by a finish. And guess who his company is? Only one man named John Jones. That's who he's in company with. You know, that's Vera's weapon. The durability is so good. And O'Malley will be tested if Vera can hang around and take the punishment. Right? I expect O'Malley to win the early rounds. But how will it look when the fight goes deeper? Into that 4th and 5th round. We haven't seen O'Malley in a 4th or 5th round. You know, I like what I saw in the Yan fight. I did like what I saw in the Yan fight. He proved he can go to deeper waters. Even though it was a 3-round fight, he proved he can go with a dangerous man like Yan deeper into a fight. But we haven't seen the 4th and 5th round, right? From what we've seen from Vera in the past, you expect this fight probably get deeper in the round. In the fight, right? 4th, 5th round is very doable and very possible in this fight, right? Obviously, O'Malley has that one-shot power. We've seen it time and time again. He's even knocked down Jan, right? He's knocked out Sterling in his last fight, knocked out tons of guys, but we just haven't seen Vera be affected by these big shots. Can it happen here? Time will tell. Time will tell. I also am fairly confident that, Sean's not going to gas. He's well trained, very disciplined. So when you look at the guy, you would think, no, he's out partying and whatnot. He's not. He's not. I follow his podcast and his training videos that he put out. Very disciplined, especially around fight time and in fight camp. So don't let the whole facade and the the fancy this, the clown hair fool you. Very disciplined fighter. It'd be interesting to see if either guy tries to mix in some wrestling here. That'd be interesting. They both have a little bit in their back pocket. I doubt it, though. Both guys like to stand on the feet. These two fought 3 years ago, which you guys probably do recall. A weird one, right? A weird one. O'Malley doesn't even count it against his loss. It's a loss, Sean. It's a loss. But I understand why. He kicked his nerve in his leg. His foot went out. He got dropped foot. Now, you've seen that happen maybe a handful of times. It's rare that you've seen it. I know one time it happened to Cejudo and he bounced back from it. But apparently O'Malley said he had tape wrapped too tight around his ankles so he could never bounce back from it. And he just ended up getting finished on the ground. So I get it. It wasn't a skill. It wasn't proven that Vera's better skill to skill. I get that, right? Things happen like that. If it happens again, hey, hats off to Vera. He found a weakness, right? Try to kick those legs. O'Malley does have, skinnier legs. But the defense is really good with O'Malley, and I do expect him to use that reach, volume, speed. He has a lot of advantages on the feet, in my opinion. He really understands distance management, O'Malley. And with that speed and power, he's going to have a power advantage here. The only thing I really give Vera in this fight is durability and proving he can go 5 rounds. And the resume as well. So there are 3 things to look at there. But skill for skill, I have O'Malley better. So I do believe O'Malley should win this fight. But what happens when it gets deep into the fight? We don't know. We don't know if, O'Malley has that dog in him in the 4th or 5th round. Now, again, I did like what I see in the Jan fight. He proved that he did have some dog and was able to pull out a very close decision win. But we still really don't know how he would look deep in the fight. So if Vera can hang on, he does come on late in fights anyways. Remember, Vera is one of the worst starters in UFC history. Very slow. I expect O'Malley to win the first round due to volume, right? And some key stats here, if you look at it, O'Malley, 7.2 significant strikes landed per minute. Vera, 4.3. Big difference there. If it goes to the judges, I expect O'Malley to win on volume. Accuracy is great too, right? Accuracy from Sean, 61%, Vera 51%. And in defense, Sean O'Malley 61%, same, and Vera 51%, same numbers there. So key stats there. You're going to have to favor O'Malley in this fight. It's just when this becomes a who has the dog in him, how will it look, right? How will it look in the 4th and 5th round if it gets there? And it is very difficult to call an outcome. I would have to lean O'Malley by decision. I haven't seen Vera get knocked out before. Would I be totally shocked if O'Malley finishes maybe TKO style? No. I wouldn't be totally shocked. But we haven't seen it. So how do you bet it? Right? That's why it's tough to get to. If I do bet this fight, I'll probably have O'Malley in a 2-fight parlay. I haven't bet it as of yet. Waiting for the price maybe to go down. We could see some late Cheeto money due to the plus money. So I'll be waiting until after the weigh-ins. Poirier plus 170 versus St Denis minus 200. That plus 170 on Poirier is so tempting, guys. So tempting. This is a 5-rounder as well, right? Favors Poirier. Because we've seen him in many wars and many 5-round fights. St Denis, 0. Resume isn't even close. Not even close. St Denis' best win is against Matt Fervola, guys. That's his best win to date. Hats off to Dustin for even taking this fight. Does it benefit him? No. If he wins, he should have. I'm not gonna say he should have won the fight. It just name value doesn't benefit him, right? A standard person, like a very casual fighter, has no idea who St Denis is. Most people that are probably listening to this video probably do, But a standard person that just watches fights not every weekend, you don't know who St. Denis is, which is crazy for Poirier to take this fight, and crazy that St. Denis is a minus 200 favorite. There's no possible way I could bet St. Denis at this price. Even though I understand the changing of guard theory. St. Denis, the younger guy, a lot of hype around him, very good everywhere, and I don't think the best matchup for Poirier. I get that. I just haven't seen St. Denis prove it. You know, Dustin obviously a little older now. We know the 35-year-old rule, right? 35-year-olds. Now, it does more. I have more that for as a champion, that stat, right? Only one time it happened or whatever. This is a little different. I get it. But Dustin, 35 now, coming in fighting the younger guy, doesn't usually play well, right? The younger guy usually comes out on top. So that's something worth mentioning here, right? Also, Dustin Poirier coming off that Gaethje head KO is a bit concerning at an older age. I hate backing an older guy coming off a KO like that. I hate it. You know, and that's what's making me hesitant to get to this value on Dustin Poirier. Obviously, you know, if I had to bet this fight, gun to my head, I would play pricing scenario with Dustin Poirier. Been there, done that. I would have to look that way at plus 170. Probably not going to make my client card because I'm not confident that he can do it because I do think St. Denis is very good. And I don't think the matchup's great because I think they're kind of similar fighters, guys. You wouldn't believe it, but they are very similar fighters. They both like to come forward. That's why I think this fight's going to be outstanding. Especially we're getting 5 rounds of it. Thank you, UFC. Right? I think they're very similar fighters. I actually lean St. Denis the better wrestler, and you're going to talk about that in the stats. St. Denis averaging over 4.5 takedowns per fight, guys. You know, Dustin's in about the 1 or 2. Takedown defense is pretty good, but I expect St. Denis to get this fight down to the ground. And I think that's where he could have the advantage here. On the feet, fairly even. Right, Dustin's one of the best boxers in the UFC, so I actually lean Dustin on the feet. But I do believe if St. Denis is smart in this fight, he'll mix it up and try to use his wrestling. He does have some good wrestling. Very tough as well, very durable. How durable now is Dustin Poirier at this age after that head kick KO? It's concerning. There are some concerns here, and I do believe that's why we're seeing plus money on Dustin Poirier. Getting up there at plus 170. A few days ago, it was like plus 140. It's climbing, guys. It's just, I cannot back St. Denis at this price due to having seen him fight the 5 rounds than fighting a tough guy like this, right? The difference in competition from Matt Frevola to Dustin Poirier is night and day difference. It's too big. Right? Volume, some other key stats here. Volume, fairly the same. Just over 5 from both guys. That's why I think it's going to be entertaining. Both guys like to throw. Like I mentioned, the takedowns, right? Fun fact I'll leave you guys with. Dustin Poirier has never lost 2 fights in a row. Keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Holland minus 138 versus Michael Paige plus 110. Another fight should be fun, especially if it stays on the feet, right? Michael Paige making his debut in the UFC at 35. A few years too late, in my eyes, to make any sort of run. Right? He's not that good of a fighter to make a run anyways to the title, but he can get fun fights, very fun fight. Like I would love to see if he can get this job done on Holland against Holland. Imagine like Paige versus Stephen Thompson. How fun would that be, right? Even though I would probably think Thompson would win that fight, but how fun would that one be? This is a fun matchup, you know, both karate style strikers. And it says if it does stay on the feet, I favor Paige on the feet. You know, getting plus money is kind of hard to stay off here. You know, Paige doesn't do great against wrestlers. Can't say Holland's a wrestler, right? If you even look at the numbers, Paige is favored in takedowns. He has improved his takedowns. Now, the competition is a lot lesser than Holland, right? That's why it's kind of hard to grade how he's going to look. You know, some concerns with Paige also not fighting very competitively for over a year now. He's had a bare knuckle fight as well in there against Mike Perry, close fight, but he lost that fight. So that's something to keep in mind here, right? I'm not high on Holland, just his fight IQ's not great, right? If he just stands and bang with Paige, I'm going to lean Paige here at the plus money, right? We just haven't seen Paige at this high level yet, so I'm not 100% confident on it, but I do like the plus money. And I do think Paige is the better striker between the two. And I don't think Holland's wrestling is good enough to threaten Paige. So, I would lean Paige here at plus 110. Some key stats here, striking accuracy, right? Paige, 76%. Holland, 49%. Yes, Holland does have that power, but is he going to be able to hit Paige? Paige is 77% defense on the feet. Very good, smart, calculated striker in Paige. Holland, I don't have him as a smart striker. I have him as long, lanky, and some power, and has a decent jab. But I think Paige is going to be able to handle that. And the defense of Holland's 51%. Just not great, right? So tough fight. I get it. Could be close. Could go to the decision. Wouldn't be surprised there. Holland obviously very durable. So maybe look at a decision prop there. Fight to go the distance. That could be a play as well. But I'm leaning Paige here, plus 110. Should be a fun fight. Burns, plus 130 versus Malina, minus 160. Another tough fight. Tough fight to call, guys. But should be very competitive and exciting. Fight that easy. Could go 3 rounds as well. The veteran Burns inviting Malina up to the top of the division. Come take my number. That's what it is, right? Another changing of guard scenario. The changing of guard, as they say it. The younger guy fighting the older veteran guy, been there, done that. Can he take his spot? It's a big question, right? Resume, of course, goes to Burns. Fought everybody. Fought the best of the best. Almost beat Chimaev, guys, for God's sakes. Right? Burns coming off a loss to Bilal. Bilal's very good, right? Bilal has proven that he is the next guy to fight Leon Edwards. Hopefully we do see that soon. I don't know what the holdup is there. Jack won his last 2 fights, but both were very close against guys that, one guy you won't know, Basil Hafiz. Okay? 90% of you guys probably won't know who he is. Short notice, out-wrestled Jack. And Jack only won a split decision. Keep that in mind, guys. I get it. It was both kind of short notice because he went from like fighting a striker to a guy that just wrestles. So I do understand that. Okay, and then he won a split decision over Kevin Holland, who we just talked about. So I'm not sold on Malina being a minus 160 favorite over a guy like Gilbert Burns. Not sold on it. But when you look at the stats, it does favor Malina. However, you got to understand the resume and the guys that he's been fighting Malina to look good with the stats, right? Burns not going to look great when you're fighting Chimaev and Kamaru Usman and Bilal Muhammad. That's something to keep in mind here. If I had, which you don't, I'd have to look at the plus money, shop around, and probably get better than plus 130. There's no other way I can look at it. Jack hasn't proven to me he can beat a guy at this level, and his last 2 fights were a little concerning. A lot of people are talking about Malina maybe making that next title run. I'm not sold yet. Beat Burns, then I'll be sold. And then, next get another fight or 2, and then maybe you can get that title shot. Some key stats here. Striking volume, Malina over 7. Burns 3.3. That's where I have a concern and where I'm not able to get the Burns plus money yet. If it does go to decision, I could see Malina squeaking one out by decision. Right? Madalena's takedown defense, 80%. Burns 47. That's where I'm a little concerned, guys. If this goes 3 rounds, could see more activity from Jack just to steal it in a close one. Definitely a fight I can see and go 3 rounds, so I like the over 2.5 here, and fight goes the distance. Probably will make my client card if the price is decent. But again, tough to call a side in this one, guys. There is value with Burns, but when you look at the stats, it's a bit concerning. Just factor in the resume and who they're fighting. It's very different, so I do throw out the stats a little bit. But obviously the volume is concerning if it's a fight going to go 3 rounds. Peter Yan is back, guys. Peter Yan is back. Minus 125 versus Song plus 100. What a fun fight to open up a main card. Imagine you saying this fight opens up a main card. The card is stacked, and it is, guys. Super tough one to call as well. Very tough, right? You got Yan at one point being the scariest man in MMA. And then it changed very quickly. 3 losses in a row. Sterling, O'Malley, Murad. Yes, the top guys in the world in the division, I get it. There's just a lot of concerns in the fight. Not fighting smart. not able to put guys away or put the pedal to the metal, as they say. It's a bit stepped down, the Song, I get it, but not an easy fight at all. How will Jan look after 3 losses in a row? That's a big question. How confident is he coming into this fight? You lose 3 fights in a row, your back's up against the wall. I do think if he loses this fight, he could be moving on from the UFC. There was talk about it before, him moving on. He wasn't happy with decision calls, etc. Song's come into this fight confident. Back-to-back wins versus Simone and Gutierrez. Not top of the chain guys that Jan's been fighting, but very good fighters, solid fighters, ranked fighters. If you look at the stats between these two, there's not much to look at. It's very even, especially in the striking department. I would lean Jan in the wrestling and grappling department, but Song has been improving. He has been improving, especially where he's fighting out of alpha male, right? All they do is kind of wrestle over there. This will be, I think, a very super close fight. Definitely another fight I can see going 3 rounds. Both guys are fairly durable, so I have a hard time seeing a finish in this fight. I'm going to lean Jan here. Not confident enough to bet it for clients or for myself. But you got to think Jan's not going to lose 4 fights. Is he? He's too good to lose 4 fights in a row, and this is a step up for Song. Big step up for him, right? So I cannot get to either side in this fight confidently. It's a very tough fight to call. Love this fight to go 3 rounds and over the 2.5. What a card we have in Miami, guys. Excited for this one. Probably should have took a trip down to Miami to check this one out. But hey, I actually like watching fights more on TV. I like it watching more live. You get a different atmosphere. You don't get to see the fight as much. You don't get to, see the takedowns or the submissions. Tough to see at times. You get distracted. So me personally, especially from an analyst standpoint, I like watching the fights on TV. Much easier to watch, in my opinion. Fun card, guys. Enjoy it. Busy weekend. Like I always say, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy this card.